Raheem Sterling is annoyed that Manchester City want to send him to Spurs in part exchange for the Harry Kane deal. Gabby's got 2 years left on his current contract. How seriously should we take this? And you can understand why he's a bit...
Okay, so a couple of things here. This whole part exchange, in England, because this is a relatively new phenomenon, they use the term make weight. Now, make weight has very negative connotations.
It's like, you're rubbish, so we
exactly, right? So I think that would put him in a bad mood if he heard this.
Yeah.
The reality is he's got 2 years left. He needs to think about his future. He needs to think about extending his deal. Maybe those negotiations aren't going great. And so if I'm City, I say, hey, look, you want 150 million, 130 million. Look, we can stick Sterling in there, value him at 60, 70 million or whatever. And then, you get cash and you get a guy who is a very good player.
Yeah.
Didn't have the greatest season, but he's had plenty of good seasons before. I don't think you should be annoyed by it. I mean, be more annoyed if he doesn't get the contract he wants and they sell him somewhere else, right?
Yeah, that's true.
But again, my feelings on this. I don't think, if from Spurs' perspective, they don't even have a manager. So they're in no position to judge whether it makes sense to take on Sterling and Sterling's contract, because he's going to want to raise and you're going to have to sign him to a new deal if you take him. So I don't even think they can begin to value this. I don't even think they can even start thinking about Harry Kane. And as I told you, I think it's highly unlikely Harry Kane moves this summer. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
but I think it's highly, everything points against it.
I said it's 50-50.
More City, Jules.
Yeah.
They're linked with Jack Grealish.
Oh.
Now, is he a Pep type?
Well, yes and no. I think no in the sense that it's a bit like Riyad Mahrez, who, maybe stays on the ball a bit too long for Pep's liking. But then that brings you something a bit different to your team and the way the team is playing, which is not a bad thing, I think. And we saw that with Mahrez. It's very similar to...
It's a really good analogy, because Mahrez was most definitely not a Pep player.
Exactly.
And then he became a Pep player.
Yeah. And I think it's very similar. And to me, it looks so much like the Mahrez deal. Maybe the best winger in the Premier League at the time. Very different to the players that usually Pep signs or goes for, what he had in the team. You spend a lot of money. 60 million on Mahrez at the time was a lot of money, like 100 million on Grealish would be now, especially with the pandemic. But hey, if they have the money, I think he would bring something very special and very different to this team and make them even stronger.
Do you think if they sign Grealish, then they can also go for an A-list center forward, or does the A-list automatically move to 2022?
It seems, and certainly what our colleague Rob Dawson was writing last week, that it's both potentially, that they think they have the money for both. We know that financial fair play this summer is a bit looser, let's put it that way, if that's the right word. Would you agree?
It's technically suspended, but it's not like it's gone away in perpetuity.
Yeah.
It will come back.
So I think if there's one summer when you can just go over the top a bit, it's this one. So go for it. And if they sign Grealish and Kane, I mean, this would be incredible. It would be incredible. I don't know how realistic it is. I think it's more realistic that they can sign Grealish than Kane. I think Kane, I agree with you, is a far tougher deal. Grealish, if you're Villa, he's been at your club forever, is your club captain. I think it's hard to deny him this opportunity to go and play for Pep with Man City, play in the Champions League, then keep him and just close the door.
The one thing I would say is I would just view it a little bit as a numbers game, in the sense that you want to give Foden more minutes even than he had last season, where he became a de facto regular, right? But there's going to be he demands minutes. Bernardo Silva's still there, and we know that Pep does like him.
Yeah.
De Bruyne, you hope, is going to be fit at some point, and you have Mahrez, and you have Sterling.
Yeah, but as we know, Sterling's position is a bit uncertain.
It's just, I'm saying is you've got 5 people. You've got, unless you just decide not to play a center forward, which is possible too, but then you're not going to sign Kane and not play center forward. I just wonder, in terms of squad management, does this perhaps herald that they might be making a painful decision with somebody else at some point?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.